we here now. I'm MoedotJ, and this is another recap of The Shy, episode 4. But before we get started, shout out to the notification gang. And if you're new to the channel, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you can get something every time I upload. Right now, we on that grind of 2,000 subscribers. I think we only need like 300 more. But like I said, this is episode 4. If you know me, I'm not going to hold you up. Let's jump right into it. This is The Shy, episode 4. So right from the jump, the opening scene, of course we're looking for Keisha. So they started off with Keisha. She's in the room stretching, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to run. And Dre walks in because the music's up loud. And she's like, turn this music down some. And Keisha's pretty much like, hey man, you can't run in here bossing me around. And Dre's trying to tell her, hey, look, I pay half the bills around here. I can definitely tell you what's going on. But anyway, you know, these two are already clashing. And Keisha, she bends over and she's stretching a little bit. And Dre's like, okay, you got a tattoo? Like, when'd you get this? Keisha was pretty much hiding, so she says, oh, you can see it. So for me, when I seen that there was a tattoo and that they emphasized on it that early, I'm thinking that's gonna have something to do later on in the episode. I don't know what, but I'm sure that tattoo is gonna do something. So as Keisha leaves the room, she puts her headphones in and she's pretty much just rapping the song talking about females always hating and stuff, hitting that Dre. And then you see Keisha run out into the middle of the street and Dre wakes up. So it's like she was having a nightmare, dreaming back about everything that's been going on with Keisha missing. I don't know if we're gonna find her this episode, but we shall see. As the day goes on, we get to see Ronnie. So of course we see Ronnie, he's outside looking through trash cans. And if you remember at the end of the episode last week, there was a white guy Ronnie seen. So Ronnie actually stumbles up upon this guy's house and he sees him leave, so he actually breaks in and he goes in the basement and you can see like magazines about like, you know, saying online sex, cyber sex and stuff. So he starts scrounging around and he finds something. He starts snapping a picture of it. And I'm wondering what it is because they don't really show us what that he took a picture of, but he took a picture of something. So it must be good evidence. And of course, the white guy was at the little Virgil last week. So I'm still wondering what does he have to do with what's going on in the episode, you know? He's suspect number one. I still don't think that Ronnie did anything, so I'm putting it on the white guy. I think this episode would probably find Keisha. Once they finally show us Emmett, Emmett calls up his dad Darnell, and they actually meet up at the park and they have to talk. And Emmett's like, man, you know, this is kind of awkward talking to you, but Darnell's gonna listen anyway because at the end of the day it's his son. But he pretty much asking him like, hey man, I'm not getting any sex with Tiffany, man. I don't know what's going on, man. All we do is argue and stuff. I'm working and she's working, but you know I'm not getting any sex. And Darnell pretty much tells him like, hey, she's messing around. If she ain't getting like she ain't doing nothing for you, she ain't giving you no head or nothing, she's messing around. She got another dude. What made me think first about the card she gave to Jada. So I always thought that she let him smash too, but Darnell's pretty much like, oh, she's a Scorpio? Yeah, you got to check her phone. She cheating. So then they cut to Tiffany, and Tiffany, she's actually, you know, saying out selling some drugs. She meets this guy Dante, and he's trying to buy some weed or whatever. But he's pretty much hinting at like, whenever you need something, you know what I'm saying, let me know when you need something. Pretty much, he talking about, hey man, when you need somebody to smash, you know what I'm saying, holla at me, because you don't post your dude on social media anyway. But Tiffany, she seems like she's loyal. She was pretty much telling him, hey, I don't post what me and him got because that's our personal life and that has nothing to do with the world. That's why I like Tiffany so much. I could do better for you, Tiffany, than Emmett, but she pretty much like shooting down any guy that's trying to get at her because she has a kid with Emmett. So we're going to see how that works out for them because we already know they were clashing last week after Jada let them live with them. Ronnie pulls up to Dre's house and he's pretty much telling, hey man, I got some evidence, man. I'm not sure how much it is, but I got some evidence. And you already know Dre, she ain't messing with Ronnie like that. I told him he gonna kill her if she got to come back or if he did anything with Keisha. But he shows her the phone. We still didn't get to see what was on it, but he's saying we have proof that this guy likes underage women. And Dre's like, we should go to the police. He's like, nah, we can't do that because they ain't gonna do nothing anyway. And he'll be able to have time to get rid of it. So we need to go figure this out on our own. So Dre pretty much just like, you know what? Let's go handle this, man. We're gonna have to do something. We already know that it's us by ourselves out here. The cops ain't gonna help us. But she asks Ronnie why is he trying to help out, and Ronnie tells her like, man, I told my mom before she passed that I'm gonna do something right. 'Cause remember he was a hero, but now his grandma looks at him like, nah, you just a bum. Kevin's school is having a mixer, so it's pretty much coming in, and everyone that donates to the school is there. As Kevin and Nina, they're showing up to the little party. She's talking to him about Gemma from school, and he's pretty much like, "How do you know about her, mom?" And she like, I went through your phone because I paid a bill, so it's pretty much my phone. He get mad about it, but anyway, once he gets there, they run into Kevin's teacher, and she introduces Kevin and his mom to, saying the sponsors, and they're saying, with our donations, saying you could be the next Ben Carson. Pretty much, this man said Ben Carson. No black person wants to be Ben Carson. So Nina, she pretty much nipped that in the bud. Like, my son Kevin's gonna be good with or without your donations. So as they move on, Kevin runs into Jake, and as he's talking to Jake, saying they're saying they don't want to be there and everything, just like kids, saying no one wants to go to this mixer. So it's a lot going on here. We get to actually see Gemma's dad. He's a rich guy, he's out here actually helping people. And it turns out that Jake's dad is rich too. So Duda's there, and Duda gets introduced by the kids, Gemma and Jake. They partner up and they introduce their dads together. Gemma's dad, he has a lot of money that he can put into campaigns depending on what dude is talking about, or should I say Otis Perry. So these two, they start talking. As you notice that this is going on, Kevin turns around and he sees his mom talking to Gemma. So they pretty much get acquainted. And he's like, man, why are y'all talking to each other? But saying things are good. Like if your mom likes the girl, then of course Kevin, Kevin likes her too. So the mom's like, Gemma, it's nice to meet you. I like you. Kevin's like, oh, me too. So this leads to Kevin asking, hey, you want to go to the little, African American museum tomorrow? And she's like, fix your English, and yes, I'd like to go with you. So pretty much Kevin got him a little date, you know what I'm saying? Hey, things are looking up for Kevin besides his sister, Miss. Lena Waithe makes an appearance, and she's the opposing candidate running against Duda for the mayor position in Chicago. So she's at Papa's father's church, and she's speaking to the crowd, pretty much telling them, like, I'm from Chicago, saying I'm here to get answers. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that we're not going to get answers from, and you guys want those answers, and I want them also. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get the answers for all the questions that we all want. There's a girl that's missing, talking about Keisha. The cops haven't did nothing for it. Like, it's gonna be up to me to make sure that I go find everything. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect because we know that she's a lesbian and she's gay. So she's telling the crowd I'm not perfect, but neither are anybody in here. So we should all come together. And I'm actually doing what you guys want to do. And the crowd's like agreeing with it. You see Papa in the crowd agreeing with it because he told Jake earlier, like, yeah, I know your dad's running, but I want to know what candidate I'm actually voting for. So he's listening to Lena. He's like, hey, man, that might be somebody I'm voting on. But as the night passed, Papa comes back in. He sees Lena paying his dad some money. So it's like, man, probably a couple $1,000. And Papa's like, man, what's going on? What's she paying you for? Pretty much, it seems like she's paying to get people's votes. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but that's how politicians are. So I don't know what she's paying and what her agenda is, but she done paid off Papa's dad a couple of bands to, come and speak to the congregation. Emmett and Tiffany in couples counseling trying to make the relationship that they have go right. So Emmett's pretty much like, I don't feel like we're connected. Tiffany's like, we have a kid together. How much more connected can we be? So they're both going back and forth. Tiffany saying she works all day. Emmett's talking about he works all day and he works nights. So there's no time for him to have sex. So Tiffany's like, if you were doing all this working, how are we gonna have sex? And he's like, man, I don't know, find some time. So that just keeps the argument going and going and going. And then there's the doctor, she's like, that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? When you demand sex, then that's when things start going wrong. It should just happen fluidly. So she's pretty much telling him, like, you could do this to make Tiffany happy, help out a little bit. And Emma's like, man, I'm doing everything I can. I'm helping out as much as I can. So we're gonna see how this goes and if Emmett actually learned anything from this. But this counseling didn't really do nothing. All they did was bicker back and forth with each other, man. Pretty much a waste of time if you ask me. Damn it, Emmett. So Dre and Ronnie, they go back to the white guy because Ronnie's been looking and watching them, and then he finds a little bit more information. So they go back and they whoop on him, and they pretty much like, hey man, we can be here on the street. You know what I'm saying? You can't call the cops because we on public property. But they start whooping on them, and they're like, look, all you have to do is tell us where the girl is, and you know what I'm saying? We won't call the cops or anything. We'll just go get the girl. So they beat him, and he tells her, yeah, she's at the beach. So once they get to the beach, Dre's there. Dre calls Nina and tells her, hey, you need to get up here. Nina tries to call Kevin, but Kevin is with Gemma, so he doesn't answer. They get to the beach, man, and now They go look at the body. Once Nina and Dre get there, they look at it, and Dre's like, "Can you turn the body over?" And that's where the tattoo came into play. Remember, I told you earlier, the tattoo had something to do with it. So once they rolled the body over, they seen that it wasn't Keisha. So we got another episode that we had to wait to find Keisha. Dre runs home. I mean, not Dre, but Kevin runs home, and he's talking to Nina, and she's crying, and she's saying, "Hey, it wasn't Keisha." So, there's still hope out here. But another unknown woman is dead by the beach, but it was the wrong girl. It was an underage woman because the white guy likes that. So we still got to find Keisha, man. We got another episode to go find her. It's going to be tough, man. So it looked like Emmett actually paid attention in counseling. When Tiffany got home, he had the house cleaned up. He had the kid put to sleep. He had the champagne out with strawberries and candles. And once they laid the baby down, it was straight to action. Now, unfortunately, my girl Tiffany stepping out on me with Emmett, but, they got to make a good storyline. But everything that the counselor told him, like, hey, man, help her out some, do more, and then you'll get more in return. So he actually paid attention, and hey, man, things is working, and it's time. But Tiffany told him she's not trying to get pregnant again. That's one reason they haven't been having sex. So I don't know what they did with her being pregnant from last season to this season, but she's not trying to get pregnant again. So I guess they just erased that baby and was like, we'll start fresh with her trying not to get pregnant. So Duda and his wife, they riding home in a limo, Rosalind, played by Candy. So she's pretty much like, okay, you got Jake with you. That's a good addition, It's going to look good for your campaign. He's pretty much like, nah, it's more than that, man. He's like a son to me. So she's pretty much like, oh, now you want to be a father? And he was telling her, like, hey, look, man, how I was growing up, man, it wasn't safe for me to be a father at that point. I was in these streets. Like, I didn't want nothing to happen to the kids. But he pretty much goes on the spiel of why he's running for office, talking about his teacher always said, what do you want to be? He's like, I wanted to be the mayor. So Rosalind's like, yeah, you always want to prove people wrong. And he's like, yeah, man, she would tell me, oh, I'm not from the same place that other successful black men were, so I wouldn't be able to make it. But I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to win mayor. So if you have a dream, stick to it, people. That's what my boy Dude is doing, you know what I'm saying? If he can do it, then, hey, you can do it. At the end of the night, Dre and Nina, they sitting there, they having a drink. Nina's smoking a cigarette, and Dre's like, man, this is stressful. Let me try that cigarette. But pretty much they just sitting there. They really not having too much words, but Dre comes out of nowhere and say, man, I'm glad it wasn't our daughter. You know what I'm saying? And Nina's like, yeah, but it was someone else's daughter. So then she also apologizes. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the tattoo that Keisha had. You know what I'm saying? That probably would have been significant earlier on. But Nina, like, as a real mom should, she like, oh, that's the least of my worries. I'm trying to get my daughter back. Like, that's what we're 4 episodes in. We need to find where Keisha is. So I can assume it's what, 7, 10, probably like 2 weeks now. I know it's tough, man, but they gotta find her, man. And that is episode 4. We don't know where Keisha is. Maybe next episode we'll find a little something else. All right, that's the episode 4 recap of The Chi. I need you to comment below. What do you think is going to happen next week? Do you think we're going to find information of where Keisha is next week? Or do you think we're going to find Keisha next week? Or is this going to be a whole season long event where we got to find Keisha? I need you to comment below. But hey, thank you for watching. Like I said, man, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Every subscriber counts. And we're on that road to 2,000 subscribers, trying to get that before the end of the month. Like I say, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and tune in next week. I'm MoedotJ. Thanks for watching. Hey, we're going to see you next week. This is a recap of The Chi, episode 4.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.